Hey everybody, it's Chief Forecaster David. We're streaming live on the Storm TV network channel here. We're tracking the latest with severe weather potential. This begins into tomorrow morning, early morning, as well as tomorrow evening, and as we approach tomorrow night. Let's go ahead and go to the green wall here and give you the latest updates on what you need to know. So as you can see on our map here, as we go to the next graphic here, you can see here's our headlines. So tonight it's going to be overcast. And then showers will start to increase later tonight. We're going to track a complex of storms in our forecast. We're going to take a look at some of our computer models and give you an idea on what things to look like here momentarily. So tonight's forecast looks like that. But as we approach tomorrow, we have a weather alert day in effect for our Friday. So we're going to be keeping eyes on this closely here. Then we're tracking a possibility for some isolated thunderstorms in the form of potential supercells possibly. This will go from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. on the day of our Friday evening, so something we'll have to monitor. And of course, here on the Storm TV network channel, you definitely want to continue to keep it here and subscribe and make sure you have the notifications turned on in case we do go live to cover some rowdy storms that could be happening in our neck of the woods. And in the time frame will be from 2 a.m. to 8 in the morning with a secondary round of severe storms possible. A strong complex of storms could happen. Weather alerts right now across the Lone Star states. Flood watches towards our northeast, but no alerts here in our local area. Tonight's thunderstorm threats, there is a level 2 risk of severe weather for parts of Waco, Dallas-Fort Worth, Abilene, and areas points off towards the northeast. But zooming it into our local viewing area, they have now expanded this level 2 out of 5 slight risk of severe weather to include portions of the metro now, northwestern Williamson County, the city of Burnett, Llano, Mason, and northwestern Gillespie counties are now included in this level 2 out of 5 slight risk of severe weather for tomorrow early morning. So something we're going to have to keep our eyes on. We're expecting storms as early as 2 to 3 in the morning probably tomorrow morning. So I'm going to have to, it's 9 o'clock right now. I'm going to have to get some sleep probably. I'm probably going to go to bed probably at 10 o'clock probably. And I'm going to wake up at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, be on storm watch, and then we'll go live when I think things will get concerning. You can see I haven't even moved the numbers yet because this updated. The original update was well up here, now it's well down to the south. So there has been some major updates with this. Of course, we'll continue to keep our eyes on this, but with some severe storms, we could have some impacts, 1 to 2 inches of hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. As of right now, no tornadoes are anticipated, but areas in this black shade of color that we have here, we're forecasting, or the Storm Prediction Center is hinting that over 2-inch size hail or larger is possible in the shaded area black. So we're going to have to keep our eyes on this here, as we could have the possibility of some very large hail as we wake up tomorrow morning, or just a couple hours before we wake up in the morning. So something we'll have to continue to watch, and definitely want to continue to keep it here on the Storm TV network channel. Tonight, you're going to want to, if you're not yet subscribed, make sure to do so. If you are subscribed, make sure you have those post notifications turned on so you get notified when we go live if we get any weather alerts in our area. But besides that, we're tracking another severe weather threat for Friday. Before I talk about our area, I want to mention about this level 4 out of 5 moderate risk of severe weather. They're expecting a pretty decent tornado outbreak tomorrow for parts of northeast Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, and majority of Arkansas and far sliver portions of northwestern Louisiana. Keep an eye on this tomorrow afternoon. It's actually tomorrow late morning to the afternoon. Again, large hail, damaging winds, and maybe even a few tornadoes, several tornadoes, I should say, are possible in this area in red, also surrounding the orange. Everybody in that area needs to be on guard for some bad type weather coming their direction as we get into our Friday. Can you believe it's Friday tomorrow? I can't, but yeah, tomorrow is Friday. All right, let's zoom it in. So here we go. So pretty much everybody, well, actually everybody across our area is at least under a severe weather threat. Anywhere from a level 1 risk to a level 2, 1 and a 2. But most of us, half the viewing area at least, about 60% of us under a level 2 out of 5 slight risk of severe weather. 1 to 2 inch size hail, very possible, 60 to 70 mile-per-hour winds, and we cannot even rule out an isolated tornado. Why am I not ruling out the isolated tornado potential? You saw my time frame, my timeline. In the evening to the late evening, we have the possibility for a few isolated storms that may try to develop. If they do develop, they could contain some large hail, gusty winds, and once again, perhaps an isolated tornado threat. So something we'll have to keep our eyes on. Will New Braunfels see a tornado threat? as we're reading in the chat here. New Braunfels is right down here, so you guys are in the level 2 out of 5 slight risk of severe weather. If any tornadoes, any nadirs were to happen, I would think mainly towards these areas out in the, I think the hill country. If any tornadoes were to happen, the hill country would have the better bet, the better potential to see some potential rotation of some storms if that does happen. But again, I'm thinking Mason, Llano, Burnett counties, maybe even Fredericksburg, Blanca counties, maybe even Kendall County. That's probably where I think our greatest risk of some isolated. I'm thinking maybe one. I'm not saying one tornado will be on the ground. I'm just saying that there's a possibility that one of our storms may contain some rotation. So we'll continue to monitor this. But for New Braunfels, mainly looks like a large hail and damaging wind threat for y'all. But of course, we'll watch it. If a sped up tornado could try to occur, it would, again, the better probability, the better chance would be out towards the hill country and areas further off towards our northeast where there's a moderate risk of severe weather across northeast Texas and Arkansas. But again, we'll continue to track this here, and in some major developments here, the Storm Prediction Center has put out a hash-marked risk. This is meaning 2-inch size hail or larger possible areas from Burnett down towards Bernie westward. We're going to have to monitor this closely. I mean, tonight's severe weather threat is very similar to this, but this is more of our viewing area. So this is why we have a weather alert day in effect for our Friday, because of this severity of our severity and what impacts to look like here. So tonight in the capital city, 70 degrees, increasing cloud cover. Showers will develop late with a 40% coverage-wise in showers. But out towards the hill country, we'll have isolated showers and storms hit or miss, but we could get a complex of storms that will roll in between 2 to 6 in the morning. Or actually, 2 to 6 in the morning, somewhere in that time frame, is where we'll have some storms, and some of those could be strong to severe. Your update on your algae count here. Trees are in the high count. We have grass in the high count. We also have weeds in moderate, and mold is in our high count here. And taking a look at your rain chance timeline, we have a 70% rain chance for our Friday. We're going 60% for Saturday, then big old goose eggs from Sunday through Thursday. And I'm not going to talk about the cap right now, but I'm just going to show you guys the graphic so y'all can read this real quick. This is the information on the cap here. Today we were in a cap environment. We had some storms that developed out in Mason County. So we actually had storms that we actually had clouds that were able to uncap. The environment got uncapped across portions of Mason County. There we go. But again, it looked like this earlier. I got some cool pictures on Twitter. Check me out, David ALFWX. I got some cool pictures of some anvil clouds, where those outer edge clouds. Before that storm comes in. It's really cool pictures I took, and we'll keep eyes on this. Alright, now here's something that I want to talk about. Area of concern right in the zone here in central Texas. It's going to be mainly a large hail and damaging wind threat. Again, we're not forecasting tornadoes in our local area, but there could be an isolated spin up, especially towards the hill country, so we'll watch it closely. But again, right in the zone, mainly damaging wind threat, but far, for instance, northeast Texas, far extreme northeast Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, parts of, well, this is actually more of Arkansas, and this is more northwestern Louisiana. Right in this zone is where we can have some big impacts of tornadoes, EF3 or greater possibly. So if you have any family members over here, please give them a call now, or as soon as you wake up tomorrow morning. Hopefully they're prepared. If they're not prepared, tell them to get prepared. And if you're watching in the zone risk this evening, here's what I recommend. If you have any important papers, documents, medicine, anything like that, I would recommend to gather that stuff up now. If you have anything that's important to you, got some really anything that's important to you, I would just get that gathered up, have a general idea where that's at when it's time to go to take shelter. So again, not for Central Texas. That's going to be for this area here in northeast Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, and parts of Arkansas. I want y'all to be prepared as best as y'all can as we get into tomorrow. Reading the chat once again, will New Braunfels see a severe watch tomorrow? It would not surprise me. Majority of our viewing area was under a severe watch. Let's go ahead and return back over to the SPC outlook here. Again, we have a level 2 out of 5 slight risk of severe weather for parts of the I-35 corridor points west. So if a severe watch got issued, it would probably be issued for Milam County, all of the I-35 corridor, and especially towards the west. Sometimes in years prior, when there's been a slight risk of severe weather for these very similar counties, it's only been the hill country, and maybe an hour later we'll put one out for the metros. But they may put one out for a good portion of our area. So my thinking, if they do issue a severe watch, it's gonna be tricky on how they're gonna do this, because we'll have isolated storms that will try to develop out in the evening from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. And if that does happen, some of these could be very strong, up to 2-inch size hail, possibly. So that could be a result of a severe thunderstorm watch. And then they may issue a new severe thunderstorm watch, mainly focusing on the hill country Saturday morning. And it may include portions of the Austin metro area, not so much San Antonio probably, but still a lot of things can change, a lot of ironing out still could occur with this, but again, we'll continue to track this. Severe weather in Waco, yes, looking very promising over there. Waco, DFW, right in this corridor, level 2 risk of severe weather. Any tornadoes for y'all? There is actually a 2% tornado risk from earlier lookings, so it wouldn't surprise me if some isolated and embedded tornadoes could try to occur, especially in the east part of Waco. But still, we'll have a strong complex of storms that should develop here very soon and should impact portions of Texas. So you're wondering why there's a level 2 risk of severe weather. This is why. But I want to go and talk about tonight's severe weather threat. As you can see, this is tonight's severe weather threat. We have a level 2 out of 5 slight risk of severe weather from parts of the hill country here in our local viewing area, going from Abilene. So here soon, we're expecting storms to start to develop here, initiate here soon, right into this zone. And it'll eventually make a deep dive towards the northern hill country, potentially towards Waco, and over towards Abilene, going all the way towards DFW, maybe even Tyler and Shreveport, right in this yellow zone. As we zoom this in, here in our local viewing area, we can see impacts 1 to 2 inches of hail in diameter, up to 60 to 65 mile per hour wind speeds later tonight into tomorrow morning. So something we'll have to watch. But over there in Waco, you guys' threats are probably maybe 1.5 inches to maybe 2.5 inches, probably wind speed 65 to maybe 70, and even an isolated tornado threat would not surprise me in the morning time near the Waco area. But still, you definitely want to be prepared if anything does happen over there. But again, this is tonight's severe weather threat. Then the SPC has actually thrown out a 2-inch size hail potential probability for portions of the northern northwestern section of the hill country. If you guys are curious and wondering why did I not upload a video today, it's because I was afraid that we would have some upgrades, some updates to the SPC, because when I post my videos, they post at 6 o'clock, and then 3 hours from recording to when I post it, 3 hours later, there's a lot of changes that occur, especially when events like this could happen. So that's why I did not post a video today, but probably tomorrow we'll post one. We'll see what happens. We may have to do no video tomorrow, just depending on what things are looking like. But just a lot of things can change. A lot of ironing out, of course, will still occur. But again, we're keeping eyes on the severe weather threat for tonight across the area. Again, where I live at, I'm actually in the slight risk of severe weather. Also, the city of Burnett's included, Atlanta, Mason, northwestern Gillespie County, again in the slight risk of severe weather. Oh, and even northwestern Williamson County in the metro under the severe threat. So my thinking here of the timeline of severe weather is from, I'm going to go 2 a.m. to 6 in the morning here in the hill country. That's my thinking in the open window where some severe storms could get going. So, new update, I'm going to throw out a weather alert day for tomorrow morning now. We have 2 weather alert days for tomorrow, for the evening and for the overnight to Saturday morning. So, let's go back to this here. Here's the latest. So, I have a weather alert day from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. for supercell potential in the evening tomorrow. I need to get rid of this. I need to put today or tomorrow here. But weather alert day for Friday. Put the weather alert day for the morning from 2 a.m. to 6 in the morning should be here. And then I'll keep this and I'll keep this is what I'll have to do as we get ready to hop on at 10 o'clock on our network channel. But we'll still have to watch this closely. So again, we technically have 3 different timings of alert days tomorrow. Just looking at this now. So, as I mentioned, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., another possibility, some severe weather, and then we'll get a pause kind of action. We'll have mainly just light to moderate steady rain across the area. on Friday morning, maybe some fog too. But then by the afternoon, we should start to dry out. Sunny sky should happen with some cumulus clouds around probably. And then from that, it might even be sooner than 6 p.m. maybe even latest as 4 or 5 o'clock p.m. probably. But I'm going 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. is a time frame for some isolated thunderstorms in the form of supercells. We'll have to keep eyes on this closely. And by the way, if any storms develop on our Friday in the evening or the late evening, they should just, boom, they might get severe almost immediately. That's how conditional, I guess, our environment is here in South Central Texas. And how it's going to work is temperatures across the area are going to be all over the place with 80s and 90s, even in some areas maybe in the 70s, because there's a boundary just playing our area right now. There's a boundary on top of South Central Texas. That's why we had some random showers across Mason County while the rest of us stayed dry. There's a cold front that's just stationary on top of us. That's why we're seeing some random rain right now, or earlier today. But still, lots to keep our eyes on, lots to monitor. So, recap here in your forecast tonight in the capital city. We're going 70 degrees tonight, increasing cloud cover. Showers will develop late tonight in Austin, but out towards the hill country. Just imagine a lightning bolt here. That's thunderstorms. And then, of course, your allergies. It's oak season. It's in the high count. Grass is high. Weeds are in the moderate, and mold is also high for as of earlier today. Rain chances 70% for Friday. I think I'm going to drop that to 60%. 60% for sure on Saturday, especially in the morning. Of course, the cap atmosphere here. We had a cap environment earlier today. Showers, even a thunderstorm was able to develop out towards Mason County. So this was capped. We were capped, but it broke through the cap. At first, it was just warm air aloft, and we couldn't get any good updrafts to break through the cap. But it just just a matter of minutes. Well, now it became the opposite. Eventually, the cap started to weaken. The updraft started to build. A thunderstorm started to create as warm temperatures started to occur, and we got a pretty good storm that happened out there across Mason County. And even some pretty good pictures I took earlier, all the way here in eastern Llano County. This storm, the cloud tops traveled 70 miles away, probably about 20 to 60 miles away from the storm. You can see the cloud tops all the way. So from the parent storm and 60 miles out, you can see the cloud tops northeast. It was insane. Once again, we have a tornado threat towards northeast Texas tomorrow, southeastern Oklahoma, southwestern Arkansas, northwestern Louisiana. Of course, I'm keeping eyes on this. Since we have a severe threat here in the local area, I'm not going to be paying attention super much on this area. I mean, if there's nothing happening in the evening in our local area, which I don't think will be likely, but if we don't have activity in our area, which I'll be surprised in the evening if we don't, we'll focus on this area weather tomorrow, and then we'll shift gears, focusing on another complex of storms that will come in early Saturday morning. So that's how things are going to work with tomorrow's coverage. Here's another important graphic here to mention. I have this area zone here. You see that area in red? That's going to be the best area for some supercell potential anywhere from western Williamson, western Travis, towards Hays County, to Bexar County, points west. This will be the best potential, the best zone, the best area for a few supercells that will try to develop. Again, there'll be isolated storms in the form of supercells. And again, anywhere from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m., the threat for supercells could try to develop. Are you going to go live tomorrow evening with severe weather coverage? Yes, I will. I will try my best to be live with severe weather coverage tomorrow. We'll see what happens. But we'll be live here on the Storm TV network channel. Besides that, we have a flash flood threat. They've upgraded our flood threat to level 2 out of 4 across northern sections of our viewing area. So Llano County, Burnett County, Williamson, and even Milam counties too. There's level 2 risk of severe weather. What do rainfall amounts? Not super much, not super impressive. If you go south of San Marcos, but north of Austin, we can see half an inch or an inch of rain possibly as we approach April 6th. So as we take a look at this is your 7-day forecast for Burnett, Texas. We're going 70 degrees tomorrow with those thunderstorms. Some of these can be severe in the morning. We have 3 different alert days throughout the day on Friday. We're going 59 for a high temperature in Burnett on Saturday. Look at this, 56 degrees for high on Sunday. And then by next week, we got warm weather, 70s and 80s with tons of sunshine. So not looking too bad for next week. But again, we'll have to have these stubborn clouds sticking around. So how it's going to play is, if we have these cloud cover, if the cloud cover sticks around Saturday into Sunday, which we're expecting storms on Saturday in the morning. Then we'll get like a lull in the action. We'll have these random thunderstorms that will develop in the evening on Saturday, which are not anticipated to be severe right now. Not looking like severe weather happening Saturday evening, but we'll watch it. And then as we approach Sunday, we'll have some moisture still. We'll have some cloud cover still, but it just depends on how thick the cloud cover is, and depends how fast can the clouds get out of here. They can get out of here pretty quickly. I think we could have temperatures maybe approach 60 degrees, but if we have cloud covers sticking around a little bit longer, which I'm thinking of right now, I think we may stay in the mid-50s here in the hill country. So again, this is not Austin. This is Burnett 7-day forecast. But as you see, partly cloudy skies as of right now for Sunday. And then we got sunshine Monday through Thursday. So again, lots we're going to have to watch here in your extended forecast here throughout the next 7 here in Burnett, Texas. So, yeah, that's everything right now. So once again, if you guys have questions, comments, or anything like that, feel free to throw them in the chat. I have the live chat on my phone, so I'm reading that right now. Of course, check me out on X at DavidALFWX. I'll post the latest throughout the day of severe weather. Obviously, I don't plan to go live. It might be, I don't know if it, would it be a smart idea to have a radar loop going throughout the day tomorrow? It might be smart. If they were to upgrade a severe threat, which I don't think they will, I don't know. If they were to randomly upgrade a severe threat, which I don't think they will, but if they somehow do or randomly do, we'll have a radar loop going. But before I leave to go to school tomorrow, I'm going to look at some computer models here. I'm going to see what things are looking like, and if things look concerning, we'll throw out alerts. We'll throw out a radar loop. Besides that, I plan to wake up around 2 o'clock in the morning, so we'll go live again at 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning probably. The original plan last night was as I was doing the national live stream yesterday. I was talking about how we'll go live if any storms happen, because some models are saying supercells would develop out towards Mason County this morning. That did not happen. So I woke up at 4 in the morning for no reason. But I went back to sleep, obviously, at 5 a.m. No, I woke up at 6 and then left to go to school at 6:35. Anyways, but I think we have like higher confidence because the SBC is like more in agreement with potential severe weather. So let me go ahead. Let's go ahead and show you guys this one more time. So again, the Storm Prediction Center is much more in agreement. Like I said, so last night we had a marginal risk. Tonight we have a level 2 risk, almost a level 3. So I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if things were to go the other way. And I was afraid I would not have my camera set up properly. Here we are. Hey, what's up, y'all? Okay. Hey guys, I was not planning to do this kind of camera today, but we are doing that today. All right, so. Let me go ahead and go to the next graphic here. So this is the alerts. Here's that severe threat. So again, yesterday we had a level 1 risk of severe weather across portions of the area where we would maybe have a storm. But yeah, just looking at this here, obviously is grabbing our attention. Going to the next graphic here, as you see, zooming it into our area, this shows that level 2 risk of severe weather. Again, the time frame for some storms could be anywhere from 2 a.m. all the way until 6 in the morning. So it's gonna be an interesting event. So I'm gonna set my alarms for 2 a.m. Hopefully I wake up. We're gonna see if I wake up or not. There's probably about a 5% chance I wake up, unless now the one thing that will wake me up is my weather radio. That's the number one thing that will wake me up is a weather radio. If there's a thunderstorm, I don't wake up to it. Actually, that's a lie. I do all the time. But anyways, the only way I'll probably wake up is if my weather radio goes off. So, and if that happens, that means I'm like super late into covering severe weather. So hopefully that won't be the case. But again, I'm gonna try my best to wake up at 2 in the morning. We'll see how that goes. We'll keep eyes on the severe weather threat right here. So as I mentioned, guys, we have 3 different alert days tomorrow. We have one early in the morning tomorrow from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. Then we have another alert day from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Then we have another alert day from 1 a.m. to 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. So actually we have 2 alert days tomorrow during the day, and then we have another alert day conditionally in the morning hours early on Saturday. So I just realized this. I'm gonna be barely getting any sleep, and then I'm gonna go to school with barely any sleep, and then we're gonna, as soon as I come home, we're probably gonna go live immediately because there might be storms on the radar, or I might be covering tornado outbreak in Arkansas, and then we'll be up all night tomorrow tracking storms here in our area. It's gonna be a long next 24 hours, guys. So stick around. It's gonna be very interesting forecasting. So this is tonight's severe threat right there on your screen, level 2 risk. By the way, where I live at, I'm in the level 2 risk for tonight. But tomorrow, I'm in the heart of it as well. So yeah, 2 days in a row, level 2 risk of severe weather, not bad. But tomorrow, we'll keep eyes on this closely here. And we could see some more impacts probably tomorrow than what we could experience tonight. And then again, we'll keep eyes on that hail threat there. And as we take a look here at the forecast for Austin, 70 degrees tonight, not bad. Again, a 40% rain chance, east-northeast winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And of course, allergies are pretty bad across the area. Rain chances, need to fix that. Needs to say 60% Friday and Saturday. I kind of went a little bit too high on Friday. I don't think 70% of our viewing area will see rain on Friday. I mean, actually, it's going to be tricky. Again, we'll have this cluster of thunderstorms, complex of storms in the wee hours of the morning tomorrow with that severe threats. And then we could have some just light to moderate rain happening in the metro and areas east of I-35. So that's about 70% of us could see some rain maybe. I don't know. I'm going to go between 60 to 70%. I guess we'll keep it at 70% right now. And on Saturday, it's going to be mainly early morning. So I know it looks like a high rain chance on Saturday. That's mainly for the morning, guys, not the afternoon. But we could see some more rain try to develop, very isolated though, Saturday evening. So something we'll have to watch and keep our eyes on closely. So again, something we'll watch. I'm going to go ahead and skip to our 7-day here one more time. What is going on? All right, here's our 7-day forecast. As you can see here, this is for Burnett, not Austin. Just want to point that out. We're going 70 degrees for Friday with that severe weather threat in place. Cold front comes in Friday into Saturday. You notice those big temperature drops, 50s this weekend. I know, pretty cold, right? And then we will have some cloud cover. My thinking is for Sunday, it just depends on how long the clouds will last. If the clouds stick around for a while, we'll most likely stay in the 50s. But if the clouds can get out of here pretty quickly, I think we'll have temperatures making around near 60. And that will be be very similar across south central Texas. And by the way, 50 degree weather, that's my kind of weather. 37 degrees, my kind of weather. But yeah, this is a late season strong cold front that's happening in our forecast this weekend. But by next week, not bad. How's 70s and 80s sound with tons of sunshine? Does that sound okay, guys? I hope it does. And then Friday is not on there. Not tomorrow Friday, but next Friday is my birthday. And as of right now, looking at my forecast for my birthday on Friday, next week, April 11th, it has dry weather and sunshine. No storms. You know me, I want storms on my birthday. But no storms happening for me on my birthday on Friday. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be Friday too, so that's going to be awesome. Hey, you bet. You bet, Shelly. But yeah, again, that's what we're tracking, guys, with your forecast this evening. Just a whole lot ongoing. Next 24 hours. So again, guys, it's going to be very interesting here covering the weather throughout the next little bits. So what's the next thing we should do? Let me go ahead and, you know what we should do? Let's go ahead and do some radar tracking here. Let's see if there's any precipitation, has maybe tried to develop early. We never know. And that might not be the case right now too. But I'm going to give you guys a general idea on where storms could try to initiate here in the next couple of hours. And I forgot to update the radar on here too. Goodness. Some reason there's over 300 alerts right now. 1 second, I gotta turn off the. This thing has decided to. The app I use for radar decided to have launched a huge update, and now there's over 300 alerts now. So it's super laggy now for some reason. So let me just turn all these off. Okay, there we go. Anything happening here in the Lone Star States? Let's take a look. I can't talk. Starting to see a little bit of convection popping up on the map as an area of interest. So we'll take a look at that here right now. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn on, I want to turn on our header. Let's do, what's our header? Is it this one? Yeah, it is. Alright, this second. There we go. There's the official header. Actually, this is not the updated header. I'm going to have to figure this entire new system out. Alright, so later this evening, we're expecting thunderstorms to develop right in this region, right in this zone. There's nothing right now, but if I show you our severe weather outlook for tonight, you can see that level 2 risk of severe weather is right in this zone. This is where we expect storms to initiate, coming in convection from Mexico, coming into Texas, and storms again should develop soon and will become pretty widespread, and these will eventually, these could start off as supercells probably, and they'll eventually become a cluster of storms and make a run, make a dive towards portions of our viewing area here in central Texas, where I live out. I'm in the level 2 risk of severe weather. In the northern tiers of our viewing area, something we'll have to watch, and it'll also be the same thing for parts of San Angelo and areas towards the northeast. So could there be a severe thunderstorm watch tomorrow morning? I don't know. It's a great question. But the severe weather threat that we have right now, this is not really for tomorrow morning. This is mainly for tomorrow evening and Saturday early morning. I just remembered that. But this is kind of what we're gonna have tomorrow morning. Is kind of gonna be a preview of what we're gonna have Saturday early morning. So we'll have a complex of storms that will develop. Cells should develop out in this region just like tomorrow morning. Maybe even a little bit further north probably. Storms should happen across the area, but then wait, it's already a long night already. Wow, this is for tonight. My apologies. Okay, my thinking was right. I was right. So how things are going to go is storms should develop out here in Mexico soon. Convection will come in, eventually initiate some cells, and those will push off towards the northeast, potentially start to grow together, or they'll become storms together and start to grow and push off towards the northeast or north. So the Storm Prediction Center doesn't really have an idea on what direction it'll go. I'm probably thinking mainly this way, with most model runs are saying. But of course, San Angelo will keep eyes on the areas towards west. But since they're bringing the slight risk more further down to the south, it makes me think that this will happen more in this zone. So something we'll have to watch closely for late tonight going into tomorrow morning. Again, large hail, damaging winds, possible tornadoes are not anticipated as of right now. The time frame for seeing some crazy type weather could be right around 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. And you know what? We may take a look at a computer weather model run. And I'll show you guys what that looks like here in a moment. And then tomorrow, a good chunk of the viewing area under a level 2 out of 5, slight risk of severe weather from all of the metro points west. So again, another thing that we'll have to watch, and then once again, a major tornado outbreak expected to happen in this zone. There has been discussion. They may even throw out a level 5 out of 5 high risk probably. And I kind of can't imagine what the high risk would be at. Probably right in this zone. I find this very interesting how the slight risk is this ginormous. I don't know. I've had some thoughts that the enhanced risk may, I don't know. Be interesting. It'd be an interesting look if that happens. But latest updates they have brought the enhanced risk further southwest. So we'll have to see what happens with the new update tomorrow. But again, the worst is severe weather, and this is more of a tornado threat. Again, here in central Texas, we're mainly going to see hail and wind, maybe a small tornado if we have the right conditions. But the greater tornado threat is up towards the northeast. But not all the time. The moderate risk and enhanced risk are just for tornadoes. It also could be for some very large hail and damaging winds. So again, something we'll have to watch. Maybe another enhanced risk of severe weather could develop here. We'll see. But again, this is for tomorrow, not for early tomorrow morning with tonight's day 1 outlook. Next thing I want to go ahead and do is, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take a look at some models here, and we're going to see what these are hinting here. Let me see if I can find my normal website here I used for this. Is this it? I think it is. So let's go ahead and return back to the green screen. This takes 1 moment to load. I can't tilt this, unfortunately. So as we zoom into the area, this is 7 p.m. this evening. This is actually pretty accurate. Wow. Actually, no, it's not. It's 8 p.m. right now. No storms have developed. The reason why I was saying it was accurate because it was showing the shower that developed, and this was 100% accurate because this did happen moments ago. But then it's showing tons of storms that happen. It's 8 o'clock right now. No storms happening in the metro. So that's incorrect. Oh, wow. Wait. My thinking has been wrong. Wow. So this is saying storms should develop out in West Texas. They'll become supercells potential. This is, let me get rid of the banner. And this is 11 p.m. tonight. Cells will develop out towards the west. This is 12 a.m. These are concerning looking. Goodness. So let's zoom it into our area, into our neck of the woods. That's 12 in the morning. 1 a.m. looks like this. 2 a.m. So maybe I can wake up at 3 in the morning. No, I'll have to wake up at 2:30 or something. I'll wake up at 2 in the morning just to be safe. I'm going to stay up for a while. But this is 3 in the morning, showing some pretty intense storms. By 4 in the morning, still in our vicinity. By 5 a.m., still in our vicinity. Big picture. Oh man, looks like a widespread outbreak of severe weather possible. Zooming it back into our area for 6 a.m. So yeah, that's why I have the, again, weather alert day. I've just issued this recently. We have a weather alert day for tomorrow morning from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. for the hill country. Not for the Austin area. It's for the hill country where we could see some very heavy rain, lightning, thunder, potential hail, and it definitely wouldn't surprise me, some gusty winds. So that's why I've thrown out a storm alert weather day for tomorrow morning, again, from 2 a.m. to 6 in the morning. I just showed you our future tracker here, and it indicated exactly what I just told y'all on our map here. And then by 9 o'clock in the morning, it's saying mostly dry conditions, and then of course we'll get daytime heating. This is indicating maybe a line of storms to try to develop at 8 o'clock. Very interesting. And then again, this time frame from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m., we'll have the possibility for random showers, maybe thunderstorms try to develop. And then we'll get the strong complex of storms that will enter the hill country tomorrow morning, or excuse me, Saturday morning. You can see this bow vectors, strong line events, squall line looking, and then just rain showers from there, and the high-res model ends there at 7 in the morning. So very, very interesting updates with our models here and everything I've just shown y'all. We'll have to continue to track and watch this for you folks. But again, that's the latest lookings here of everything from the storm prediction, or excuse me, from the map here that I just showed y'all. So now what I want to do is I'm actually going to return back to our radar here, and I'm going to see if I can see if like any storms, any indications of convection trying to get going out there in West Texas. And if there is, I might as well just keep the stream going, you know, but probably won't do that. So yeah, there is already some indications of little tiny showers trying to get going, a little convection starting to get going out there in West Texas. To get our model run, said this is where those strong storms and potential supercells should start to build, should start to develop right in the zone, right in this area that I just pointed out. And we're already starting to see some green on the map here, which again is a little indication of something may try to get going here in the next little bit. Let's switch to this radar site here near Mexico, and it's also hinting some of that convection starting to get going near Sanderson outside of Fort Stockton. San Angelo radar is saying there's a whole widespread swath of green popping up. So that's very interesting. And then of course the closest one's the Midland radar, something we'll have to watch. So let's take a look at our satellite here. This will help us out to see if there's actually any clouds. And yes, there is some pretty decent clouds. And this is indicating as precipitation starting to occur. when you see it super bright like that. So very interesting here. And let's go ahead and get to our infrared here. This will help me. Oh yeah, there's tons of energy over here. Decent cloud tops occurring. It's actually raining over here where you see those orange. So when you see orange and red and pink and sometimes black, that's where it's actually raining. Yellow and orange means there's precipitation in those clouds. It's just not really falling yet. It's too dry. And looking at our geocolor tracker here, it matches perfectly well. It's just too dry right now. And the radar is picking up light rain, so I think I don't know, just depends on how long this has lasted. If that green's been there for quite some time, it's probably raining now. But again, still something we'll have to track and watch here throughout the next little bit over here. So yeah, it may be raining or starting to rain out here in West Texas. So as I mentioned, tonight we have this level 1 out of 5, slight risk of severe weather. Again, how this event will start is from showers that are starting to occur slowly out in West Texas. And these could continue to strengthen and continue to get going back out here. If they continue to do so, which is expected, which is planned to do, these will eventually make a run towards West Texas and come slightly closer to our viewing area here in Central Texas, even where I live at. I'm in the level 2 risk of severe weather in Llano County. So parts of far northwestern Williamson, Burnett, Llano, and Mason counties under a slight risk of severe weather. It wouldn't surprise me if these storms, these showers, if these start to intensify in coverage here, probably about an hour or two, maybe 2.5 hours from now. It wouldn't surprise me if a new mesoscale discussion got issued for parts of these areas here, maybe even including Mason County, of a possible severe thunderstorm watch. So we'll have to see what happens here with what the Storm Prediction Center does here throughout the next little bit. And what does a mesoscale discussion mean? It means they're discussing the probabilistics of what things could look like here in the next couple of hours, or what is happening imminently. And usually in the description of a mesoscale discussion, it breaks down on what conditions could look like in the next couple of hours, or again, it's happening now. And then also discusses, hey, we may throw out a watch for a specific area in the zone. You definitely want to come back and check for updates every 10 to 20 minutes. And again, we'll have to see if they do that. But again, it wouldn't surprise me. In about 2.5, maybe 3 hours from now, it wouldn't surprise me if we got a mesoscale discussion for these zones right in this area. Would not surprise me. So San Angelo, towards Mason County, down towards Mexico, at the United States, Mexico state line here, borderline here. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. New severe watch, 2 hours, 3 hours from now, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It's 9 o'clock right now. Storms are not forecasted to initiate until like after 10 p.m. So maybe 11:30, 12 a.m. is when things should really start to get going, unless we start to see some early action. I mean, look at this. Already a little bit of yellow popping up near Snyder. So things might be starting to get going already. Yeah, this is a bit earlier than forecasted a little bit. So very interesting, right? We'll have to continue to track this. We're going to watch it all for y'all here on the stream. Again, I'm going to end it here soon. But again, on radar, yeah, that matches up. Little cell trying to get going near Snyder. Looking at our severe outlook, there is a level 1 to a level 2 risk. So we may, we continue to start to see some more storms. If the coverage starts to expand a little bit more, we may get a new watch here in a couple hours. So again, watching off for you. We're monitoring it here. Things will continue to get more concerning for areas in West Texas to parts of Central Texas. Again, from Williamson, Burnett, Llano, Mason, and areas northwest. Once again, folks, we have this level 2 out of 5, slight risk of severe weather. Let me break down the outlooks here one more time here. We have a tornado threat is non-existent in our area, so I don't really expect much of tornadoes too, by the way, but there is a damaging wind threat, and there is a large hail threat, which this actually does have my attention very closely. A level 2 out of 5, I believe, of a hail threat. We're kind of in the middle almost, but there is a hatched risk. A hatched risk means, let's click on this, we are in a 15% hail risk, but we are in a 10% significant hail risk. So what does exactly this mean? Trying to see what they're trying to say with this here. So anywhere from a 15 to 25 mile radius out in this blacked out hash marked risk zone could experience some decently large hail possibly. And again, I said 2-inch size hail or greater. That is golf ball to baseball. Well, about golf ball size hail, just about. So, and it wouldn't surprise me if we got more than golf ball size hail in some spots or some areas out of these storms that develop here soon out in West Texas. But again, back to the radar. Never know. I mean, this could be the start right here, and it's starting to push off towards the east. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's developed further north, and it's not down here. I don't know. Most models are saying storms will happen down here, so I'm mainly going down with here. But we may start to see some outflow and development starting to grow further to the north as well. So again, just it's got a lot of nowcasting is what we're kind of doing right now, but still the models have been printing out some ideas. Update on locals radar here. No precipitation anymore across San Antonio. Nothing either right now. Over towards Houston, anything happening? Nothing happening in Houston. Down towards Corpus, anything happening? Nothing yet, but off towards the Gulf of America here, tracking some sea breeze showers ongoing right now. These could make a round towards here in Texas here probably in the next 30 to 45 minutes. So heads up if you are near, let's see, I don't have a specific location or an idea where this is headed, but it's probably moving to the northwest is what my general thinking is. So again, something we'll watch. But again, sea breeze storms ongoing over there in the Gulf of America could make a run towards here in Texas. But once again, we'll continue to monitor. We'll continue to track this area of zone of some severe weather. Again, this is where the severe weather event should start to occur. Again, if this activity continues to get going, continues to strengthen, and continues to get larger, it wouldn't surprise me in about an hour and a half, well, probably about an hour to an hour and a half from now, wouldn't surprise me if we start to see some good storms start to develop. And the second thing I want to note is, probably about 2 to 3 hours from now, it wouldn't surprise me if we got a new mesoscale discussion for parts of the San Angelo area, maybe even including portions of the western hill country here in central Texas. So, in a mesoscale discussion, meaning wouldn't surprise me if they were to discuss a new possibility of a severe thunderstorm watch. Something we'll have to watch, as I mentioned, and something we'll continue to keep you up to date on. But again, that's the latest with the updates. Again, I'm going to wake up super early in the morning tomorrow. Do I want to do state of weather covered? I already know what's happening weather-wise across the Lone Star State. I don't know if I want to do Lone Star State weather tonight. Wasn't really planning my agenda. I was just mainly focusing on local weather, which is why we're here tonight. So we'll see what happens, guys. As of now, I'm going to stick with focusing on local weather. As a storm, whenever I wake up and whatever I see is crazy, yeah, if it's near the area, I'll go live. I'll probably go live as soon as the storms are probably in the junction area, probably. And probably majority of the time, it may be a radar loop, probably, because I'll be too tired or embarrassed to get on screen because I'm so sleepy. So, I don't know. Just a lot of ifs and a lot of stuff. And we don't even know if I'm going to wake up at 2 in the morning. The only way I'll wake up, I will have alarm set. Actually, I had an alarm set this morning at 4 in the morning, and I woke up. So we'll see what happens. But if I don't wake up, the second option is my NOAA weather radio. Hopefully, I don't get woken up on NOAA weather radio, because that means I would have missed out on potentially a decent outbreak or something that may have happened. I don't know. All right, guys. So that's what I got for now. I hope you all have a great night. Again, please stay weather aware throughout the next couple of hours, especially here if you are in Texas and the Lone Star State, especially in West, Central, and even North Texas. Again, the weather is going to be very interesting, I should say. So, again, that's the latest. You guys take care. Have a good night. Again, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you guys if you already are, make sure you got a way to receive notifications when I go live. Probably go live here in a few hours, like in 4 or 5 hours from now. Make sure you got a way that you get a notification that the Storm TV Network channel here goes live. And then, yeah, hopefully you get it in time, and we'll track the latest on these storms. But in the meantime, guys, that's what I have for right now. You guys take care. Have a good night. And again, we'll talk here. Unfortunately, because I don't want to wake up early in the morning, but, unfortunately. But I'll talk to y'all guys here in a little bit with more updates on the radar, severe weather, and much more, again, coming soon. All right, guys. Good night. See you guys in a few hours.
Weather in Central Texas can be unexpected a lot of times. Stick with Storm for your trusted local weather updates so you can get your daily forecast updates and storm weather coverage from a trusted team you can trust. Stay ahead of the storm with Storm Austin. Storm Austin, Austin's trusted local weather source.